Minnesota Justice Coalition. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jonathan McClellan. I'm president of the Minnesota Justice Coalition. We are part of a collective of organizations that work with families and community to draft and advance legislation and other policy initiatives at the Capitol here in St. Paul and in Washington, D.C. On June 3rd, 2021, the community was robbed of Winston Smith, a black man, a human being, a father, son, brother, and friend. What we know is that law enforcement officers had been following Smith after learning through social media that he was at a restaurant in Minneapolis. Winston Smith was stalked from a rooftop of the restaurant, hunted across the street to the top floor of the parking ramp, and executed by law enforcement inside his vehicle. It's important to note that Winston was on a date and had just got done eating lunch. There was no risk. It is frustrating to see that Winston Smith's name be tarnished. We know that the common tactic law enforcement uses is to dehumanize their victims to somehow absolve them of their responsibility to take a life that was granted by God, not by man. Winston Smith wasn't armed. We know that law enforcement showed up with overwhelming force, and we know there is an eyewitness who said there was no gun. Why was Smith not arrested before reaching the parked car he had borrowed? The names of the two deputies who fired the fatal shots were never made public. Instead, a statement was made that they were working undercover at the time, and the state law mandated they remain anonymous. Law enforcement and other enforcement agencies continue to play games with the people and the family. The family and community have questions when their loved one is killed by law enforcement and need answers. We shouldn't have to wait until the city is burning, businesses are destroyed, community resources are exhausted for law enforcement to do the right thing by the family and the people. The people want transparency. We know the police release and spin a narrative that changes the scales of balance to tee up the county attorney, then Mike Freeman in the lane of that narrative for an injustice to be done, while holding all the cards and the video, keeping the families and community in the dark. The people want accountability. These murderous task forces composed of cowboy cops that have no oversight, make their own rules, reject best practices, and are allowed to bend the law to accomplish their mission. These task forces display patterns and practices that terrorize and do not protect and serve. These law enforcement agencies give lip service to the community while hiding behind the slogan of protect and serve, an institution that only protects and serves itself. What matters is we support the value of human life and the rule of law. The people want justice. We demand to be heard. We must be the voice for the voiceless, as they are not here to defend themselves or demand a proper investigation and gathering of the facts. We are asking the new county attorney, Mary Mariotti, to investigate and gather the facts and review this case and many others like it that were passed over by the former county attorney. For the law enforcement community who think that we're going back to the status quo, we are not going backwards. We are going forward, and transparency and accountability and justice for victims is paramount to that process. We believe in the rule of law, we believe in our Constitution, and to demand a fair investigation as well as transparency, accountability, and justice for Winston Smith. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Say his name.
Winston Smith.
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 We will now, if we want to hear from his children, if they have the courage and if they're able to speak. I heard his daughter and her brother as well say they wanted to say a few words. We also have another family that have come here to stand in solidarity with the family of Winston Smith that I would allow to say a few words before we end today. So do you want to say a few words?
I felt like when they killed my dad, I just was heartbroken. So I feel more older than I had in my life. And when I was born, when I first saw him, I felt like have shoes. He makes sure I have everything I need and that I want. He gives me everything I need. He gives me everything I want. He shows me love. He shows that he really cares for me. He shows that I'm his actually